Welcome back to The Vineyard. I am your co-host, Jonathan Bonjour.
And I am your co-host, Lincoln Brandt.
Today we are talking about Rob Cohen's, I would say, seminal classic.
Yes.
The Fast and the Furious. This is a big moment for us, Lincoln.
It really is. This is the turning point.
This is not only the turning point, this is the start of a franchise that is so integral to his career.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be one heck of an episode, and for that I think we deserve a quick toast.
Yeah.
Here's to you, Vin. Let's go to the wine pairing.
Today's wine pairing, brought to you by Blendings Winery, is for the Fast and Furious, and it is a Powerberry blend. It is sweet, it's heady, it's full of zest and zeal for life. When I drink it, I just want to live my life one sip and 1/4 mile at a time. Thanks, Blendings. Woo! It's quite good. Thanks for joining us for the tasting. Wow, Fast and Furious. Where do we even start?
Now, it's important, before we even get to that, this isn't Fast and Furious.
This is The Fast and the Furious.
That's correct. Fast and Furious is part 4.
Yes, I now remember. I'm reacquainted.
Part not 1, 2, 3, but 4.
I think the most surprising aspect of this movie when I watched it is how genuinely dramatic and serious it is.
This is a movie about boys. This is not a movie about jumping stuff. This is a movie about boys. And that is an important distinction because later movies pretty much about jumping stuff.
No, but this is a movie about relationships. This is a movie about betrayal. This is a movie that really genuinely cares for its characters. And I haven't seen any other movies in the Fast and Furious, but I've been led to believe that it continues to care for its characters.
It most certainly does continue to care for its characters, very, very possibly to the detriment of the franchise, I would say.
I see, yeah.
In a way that I really, really like. I have seen this movie 5 times now. This time being for the show. I watched it this afternoon. I don't know, I have this thing, and I'm interested to see if you also do, where the more times I watch a movie, the more familiar I get with a movie, the more I just tend to kind of go, yeah, it kind of rips. I kind of love it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is such a good movie. I love this movie so deeply because it really is a drama about street racing. There's almost no action in this. There are, I think, 2 fights. Obviously there's racing sequences, but I wouldn't consider those an action sequence inherently. It's just a bunch of people going in a straight line, hitting the nos. It's just a great movie. It's Point Break.
Yeah, we need to acknowledge it is Point Break.
It is just the movie Point Break, but on the land instead of the sea.
With, I would argue, maybe a better pairing of lead characters.
Yeah, I agree. Vin Diesel was born for this.
He really was.
Vin Diesel was born to play Dominic Toretto. Paul Walker is incredible in this. He really genuinely brings it. It always surprises me that Vin isn't the main character because obviously, as time will tell, Vin kind of becomes the main character of the franchise. And so it's always interesting to me watching this, realizing that, yeah, they did try to make Too Fast, Too Furious without him because they thought it wasn't about him. And it's very, very wild to me that A, they didn't see that this was a Vin Diesel movie, and B, they ever tried to make something that didn't involve him for this franchise.
And I think especially in the first one, though, I love the placement of him as a character.
Completely agree.
I love that he is in many ways very, very pivotal to the plot. But I like that he isn't always the center.
No, not at all.
We saw the same thing with Pitch Black, and I think we're gonna see similar things as we watch more of his movies. But the characters that he really, really excels as are people that are important, that have that are kind of in control of their little universes, their little social worlds, but don't necessarily have to bring the pathos and bring the arc that a lead would have to bring.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's something beautiful about Vin Diesel being able to just kind of come into the movie, be what he wants to be, and leave the movie.
Yes,
it really is interesting. Agree. It's a movie about 2 characters that are both already set on their paths. This is not a movie where someone starts the hero's journey. They're both kind of going on their journey. Those journeys just happen to kind of cross over each other. Yeah. And they both end in ways that feel suiting to each character. It is a genuinely good movie, and it always throws me off because some of the ones later are not.
And I gotta say, probably one of the most exquisite third acts
it's an incredible third act. It's an incredible third act.
The heist on the semi at highway speeds.
It becomes a Mad Max movie.
Yeah. And it does it better than most of the Mad Max movies.
I would say at least 50% of the Mad Max movies. There is something interesting about this franchise. This is maybe the most loosey-goosey franchise that there ever has been.
With the rules of reality? And
Not even that, although that is also true. I'm a huge nerd for these movies. I'm just now realizing because I'm excited to talk about them.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear you talk about them.
Not even because they completely forego the rules of reality at some points, especially Hobbs and Shaw, which we will eventually get to sort of as a side tangent for a later episode.
Or in our Jason Statham show, Statham Alive.
Yes, adjacent Statham. But this is the franchise that could, quite honestly, because there's several points in the filmography that it should stop. There's many, many points where this should stop working. Too Fast, Too Furious is one of them. This movie should be it should be Too Fast, Too Furious, and then they should completely die out because Too Fast, Too Furious does not work on almost any level. And then they do Tokyo Drift, which also actually is a great movie, but has nothing to do with Fast and Furious. Point being, this is a franchise that changes so much. It changes main character halfway through.
Yeah.
It changes main character twice, actually, because we try to go for Han in Tokyo Drift, and then it changes back to Vin Diesel, and then it tries to bring Paul Walker back to kind of a co-lead situation. There's a very interesting change. And also, not only that, but it is a franchise that goes from very grounded street racing movie where the most intense action sequence is a fight about tuna sandwiches to movies where John Cena throws a bomb at a guy, or Jason Statham fights through a plane full of boys holding a baby, or
The Rock stops a helicopter from falling off of a cliff.
Or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stops a helicopter from falling off a cliff, or he stretches, he throws his what was the word for that?
Forearm?
No, he's like when you do that to the muscle.
Curls?
You go
Flexes?
Flex it. He flexes his muscles
yes.
clean out of a cast.
Wow. Yeah, I'm excited to see all these.
I genuinely can't wait to show you these movies. These are some of my favorite movies of all time. And it's very interesting because they are for different reasons. So looking at the filmography of Vin Diesel, I have an interesting note. When he was pitched this film, he was like, I don't know, driving movie, I'm not entirely sure. And then they said, what if we had a shot going from your arm into the engine back to you? And he said, oh yeah, I'm in.
And maybe that is what we've loved about Vin Diesel this whole time, is that he has the sensibilities that we share.
Yes.
That he cares about awesome, cool things happening on screen and not much else.
That's pretty much all you need.
He loves cool, awesome things happening, and he kind of has the confidence to know that if enough cool things are happening at the same time, it will be a cool movie.
It's a movie that you're going to walk away from going, hey, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I also think we should note that his interactions with Letty, his romantic interest, if you want to call her that for this movie, she becomes a lot more important later in the movies. It's an interesting dynamic. I think it's really fun because she has kind of this hierarchy over him where he will come and step out of the car, everyone will fawn over him, a couple of girls will fawn a little too much over him, and then she steps up, delivers a very wild line that you probably couldn't put in one of the more recent ones. And then they all leave, and you can see that he does have his place. And I think it's an interesting thing for this character.
Yeah. I think it's time for a reading, John.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going with the show.
Why don't we? Now it's time for a reading.
Oh, sorry. Just barely missed it.
It was so close. It was so close. But that's okay. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah, well, I live at a half mile, so I was off a little bit.
Kind of looks like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, a reading.
Okay.
I'm stuck at first. Wait, where's the clutch? Okay. Today's reading comes from Vin Diesel, Fueled for Success, Chapter 10, Verse 32. As Vin admitted to Empire Online, a UK film website, there were some stunts that were a little bit foolish of me to attempt, but when you go to work at 6 a.m. and you're in front of the camera by 6:30, well, you can do some amazing things on very little sleep. It's an adrenaline rush. The audience could feel that rush. They were thrilled by the speed scenes in the Fast and Furious. Those audience turned the Fast and Furious into the sleeper hit of 2001. On its opening weekend, the Fast and Furious earned more than $41 million. You may be seated.
Word. Lincoln, do you have anything else to say about the Fast and Furious?
I think it's mostly with just the surprise and delight at how genuinely wonderful it is.
It really is an exceptional
How
film.
great it is on its own terms, and not even as a part of the Fast and Furious franchise.
You can see that this would birth a franchise.
Yes, you
Not
can.
the franchise it birthed, but you can see that it would birth a franchise. what would you say is your vignette from this film?
I think my vignette would have to be the tuna fish sandwich
Well,
fight.
that's not Vin. He's not involved in that really until
Doesn't he
the
put a
end.
stop to it at the very
I guess
end?
he does put a stop to it at the end.
I'll maybe choose a different
Sorry, I caught you on something.
one. You did.
Like a tuna.
Haha. Let me think about.
You catch fish.
I didn't watch this.
You catch fish.
I didn't watch this movie. I've watched it like 3 months ago. I gotta actually think through my vignette. Okay, Jon, tell me, what is your favorite vignette from this film?
My vignette from the film, there are, so many. There's a wonderful moment where Vin Diesel grabs the beer from another man and hands it to Paul Walker, which is very good, although I think the shining moment of that scene is when Paul cleans it off, because that's hilarious. I think, honestly, my vignette from this movie is probably toward the end of the film, actually right at the end of the film. There's a moment where he's driving his dad's car, which is kind of the emotional arc of the character. He finally decides to drive his dad's car. He is racing Paul Walker's character. He's O'Brien. Anyway, he's racing Paul Walker's character. He gets into a horrible accident and almost dies. And there's really a genuinely beautiful moment, a wonderful piece of acting where Paul Walker comes up to his car. He's holding a gun. It's a tense moment. You're not sure what's going to happen. And Vin says, "Not really how I wanted that to go." And I think that is extremely good.
And actually, that reminds me of my favorite vignette. My favorite vignette is when they're in Vin Diesel's garage, and he points at the wall and says, "That's my dad." Because I just love it when characters just point at a random place off screen and say, "That's my dad."
Right.
And it happens surprisingly often in
Is that
movies.
so?
Yeah, I've seen it in 2 other movies.
With what?
Well, I know it's in High School Musical.
Okay.
And it's in Glass.
No.
It is.
No way. It's amazing.
And so it was a fun time to watch Vin Diesel go, "That's my dad." I like
so
just knowing
cool.
who his dad is.
Yeah, it's good to know who his dad is.
Yeah. What did you learn, Jon, about yourself through the watching of this movie?
I really am prepared to watch pretty much anything. And also I'm prepared to get on board with pretty much anything because this is a film about big muscly boys driving their little cars around. And I ate it up once again for the 5th time in my life.
Yeah.
What did it teach you about yourself?
What it taught me about myself is that it's really fun just watching a movie about 2 people that hate each other slowly learn to become friends.
It's true.
It's such an archetypal plot, but it's really easy to make work well, and I will buy into it.
Finding Nemo.
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
When Harry Met Sally.
Dune.
Dune Part 2. Dune, the original Dune.
The Lion King.
50 First Dates.
Groundhog Day.
Predator 2.
Scarface.
Scarface 2. Teal Scar, Two-Facing.
Jon, what did this teach you about cinema?
The thing that this taught me about cinema is that, you know what, I'm actually going to pair the two if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's okay.
The thing that this taught me about both cinema and Vin Diesel is that in any creative field, but specifically cinema and specifically Hollywood, if you know what to latch onto and if you know where to strike, it's not that hard to make a franchise. Because this is a franchise that does mess up a lot, and it's a franchise that makes so many mistakes, but it gets just enough right. And this movie gets quite a bit right, but it gets enough right that it becomes a franchise, and really all you need to do is follow up and try again.
Yeah, yeah.
What does this teach you about either cinema or Vin Diesel?
I think I would talk about what this taught me about cinema first. And that is that there was just this space at the time to make mid-budget movies with a little bit of action.
It's a common frustration with current cinema.
Yeah, and it's a movie that is clearly geared towards older adults. It's not necessarily, it's PG-13. It never really feels like it's not appropriate for children, but it just feels the tone is for an adult, and it is a movie.
Lots of butts.
There is?
There's so many butts.
Oh, I don't recall.
It's just straight chock-a-block full of butts.
Interesting. Anyways, this is a movie.
Like an ash can.
This is just the kind of movie that they don't make anymore. It's a movie. It looks great because it was shot on film. The production value. There's just a baseline to the effects and the action that is. There's a smoothness and a just a like getting it done quality that feels like it's missing from a lot of movies. And I would argue, I guess we'll see later Fast and Furious movies.
Absolutely. Like any lawyer or good argument. Full of butts.
I don't know where to go from there,
Thank
Jon.
you.
You really backed me into a corner.
Thank you.
You butted me in against the wall.
Thank you for joining us on the Vineyard. I really do appreciate it. Lincoln appreciates it.
I do.
This has been an absolute blast. Is there any other thoughts you have on the Fast and the Furious that you want to get out there?
No, but I do love killing the momentum of the outro.
Yeah, I feel really good about how that went. Yeah. Thank you. From us.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the Vineyard today. It really does mean a lot, and we genuinely appreciate you watching it because a lot of work goes into this. So thank you.
You still managed to lose all the momentum.
Thank you.
We will see you next week with Knockaround Guys.
Thank you for joining us on the Knockaround Guys?
I think so.
We'll see you next week with Knockaround Guys.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we love you. Vin, please be on our show, Mr. Diesel.
Okay.
Wait, let me get in the heart.